has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. In a statement, the palace said the Queen died at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain.
That has endeared her to people both here, across the wider Commonwealth, and indeed the world. And we will continue our live programming to reflect on the Queen's remarkable 70-year reign as
Westminster Abbey, with 8,000 people present. Hundreds of thousands more lined the route outside the cathedral, and an estimated 27 million watched the 3-hour service.
We know that Prince William arrived just after 5 o'clock tonight, driving a car which also had Prince Andrew, Prince Edward and his wife Sophie in that car. And Prince Harry,
if you get this right, you will have taken the lead. I mean, I've known this all along. I can't...
But informative statement then continued to say that the Queen remains comfortable and at Balmoral. Now, one thing to note, the reason that this statement was so significant is because historically the palace regard
Okay.
Rather slim, middle-aged.
160 horsemen.
Scientific way of doing this. We've been
spruced up seat.
Oh, there's one on the floor.
The UK's best net.
None of them did. And
I had an appointment at the end of today. I got 4 lengths off the leader, who is Frank.
Carry more weight these.
I'm out to find some beautiful shingles.
You're only here to do a piece for Harry's campaign because it's always about him.
Heard Raj say, and you get.
Hey, what are you guys watching?
Ceremony that was done behind closed doors this year when she moved into Balmoral Castle.
Of course you do. Remember?
I shine.
on your wedding.
Borrowed from her niece's toy box. This had to...
At Balmoral for the first time instead of at
Aye. I will do her best for you, so.
Around her 14th century chateau.
All right, X marks the spot.
Longer with that.
If it'll make it back to the... Indeed.
As well, so much around her has changed. She has been a distillation of our national identity. She has been constant in an ever-shifting world. Constant, steadfast, dependable, dutiful. These are all rather old-fashioned words, old-fashioned concepts even, but I think that they sum up what she brought to the role of monarch. We recall the pledge she made on her 21st birthday. I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service. Well, she truly remained true to that pledge. It was true to the principles of constitutional monarchy, driven
diplomatically. Here is someone who used the crown to great effect on the international stage without, and this is a crucial point, without ever straying into the political sphere.
Kieran in Balmoral, thank you very much for joining us. Well, let's turn now to Gary Gibbon, who is in Downing Street for us this evening. Gary.
We're waiting now for Liz Truss to come out and address the nation. The podium is in place. Bizarrely, it seems to make an announcement of such poignancy only 2 days after she came to that podium, having been at Balmoral with the Queen. As you were just hearing from Matt and from Kieran, seeing those pictures of the Queen 48 hours ago or so, looking bright-eyed, reaching out her hand to Liz Truss. She'd had 40 minutes with Boris Johnson beforehand. It seems unimaginable that so quickly her life has ended after that.
Impressed everybody right from the beginning. And even people like Winston Churchill, who was an old man when the Queen became Queen, were moved and marvelled at her calm way of treating the situation.
A modern monarchy was heralded with the innovation of television. The government was against broadcasting the ceremony. The young Queen said yes. Elizabeth II inherited
trainer.
She gained it and she kept it. She kept strong. Now, of course, there have been a few.
Buckingham Palace. Fixed to those gates. And the statement, as you can read for yourself, saying that the Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral and will travel shortly to London. That in actual fact, as Her Majesty has passed in Scotland, Holyrood Palace.
from the White House, who've passed on their condolences as well. Antonio Guterres, the UN chief, has paid tribute to the Queen, her grace, her dignity, and her...
And the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. We also know that other members of the immediate family are there, clearly grieving over the loss of their mother or their grandmother, and also consoling...
And achieved the major historical milestone of 70 years on the throne, with her Platinum Jubilee marked by celebrations and commemorations up and down the country. But just a few months after those celebrations, health concerns
coins are on the stamps or on our screens on Christmas Day, or she was all aspect of life with this enormous landscape. It's going to take some getting used to, and I think, you know, the vital part he played in the longest reign in our history, and her strength and stay. Well, I think the same applies to her.
After his, we shouldn't forget, she's our head of state. Of more than a dozen other countries, and of course head of the Commonwealth, but at Balmoral have lost their mother little over a year after losing their father. They both... We should think of that and the personal loss for them.
And foremost, a you know, great family. Of course, she was the longest lived. It was still sort of unthinkable in a way. You know, she's been such a imagine how they are feeling, and that is it to the family. But as you say, I mean, the whole world will be reverberating tonight. Yes. Legions, countries would loss this the countries on earth today, even who's met and known 14 US presidents. I mean, no one in America's ever done them.
That special bond, and the fact that the castle is there, and the fact that we will miss her greatly, of course, as our local.
absorbing the enormity of what has happened. A few tears in the crowd, people hugging each other. Some turned up already to lay flowers. Earlier, I'm told there was a smattering of God Save the Queen and people broke into applause. But really, it is a quiet, sombre moment here as people just stop and reflect on that incredible life and, of course, what she meant to so many of us.
Gospel is to be music with emotions. Without it, it is devoid of impact.
Grace, dignity, and dedication.
Had shared with her. And as we said earlier, for those considering the nature of the reign, the long is a continued.
So we are now looking to the future of our monarchy with a king, with King Charles, a man who was the Prince of Wales.
And this morning they were pictured at Lambrook School.
I now invite you to do.
Those are Simon's reflections on the incredible life and reign of Her Majesty the Queen. And if you're just joining us on 5 News, it's a special programme tonight, and we're bringing you the incredibly sad news of the death of Her Majesty the Queen, which was confirmed around about 20 minutes ago with a statement from the royal family. This is what they said. The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. You can see those crowds outside Buckingham Palace. We can also show you the scene at Balmoral. We've seen those gates open on numerous